So let's talk about Wild Forever. You created a dreamy landscape for this production-wise. It's undeniable that whether you are in any landscape on the planet, this feels as if you can run wild, kind of forever. But background-wise, where did the thematic parts of this song come into play in your life?
When I went to, that's a couple of times I've been out with Joshua Tree and like inspired by the desert. And growing up by the ocean, it's almost like I'm an opposite person. But then when you know what it's like when you go there, you see the desert and you feel it's a different feeling. Yeah.
It's hypnotizing.
And it's got a magical feeling to it. And yeah, it was inspired by being out at Joshua Tree, and more getting out the city, because there's that thing where life is fast. We know how before last year, we know how fast life had been, and
100%.
we all want to get a little holiday. We want to get out with our favourite person. We all want to go and like camp somewhere, like go and have a beer with your favourite person. And it was all about getting out of the city, and inspired by spending a little bit of time in Los Angeles, where our friend were just listening to some music in the car, and it just really inspired me, like, the nostalgic feeling of when I listen to like the Killers, when I listen to them, they always paint that nostalgic place. And you get to go, they just make you go there. Yeah. And it was the same thing, getting out the city, just with your person switching off from everything. And there's a picture that I took when I was at Joshua Tree, and I never discovered until I was actually going to do the artwork. And it basically, my iPhone had picked up the moon really nicely. And of course, it's the shape of the rocks. It's like a different planet and all that. And I'd taken this picture, and that was my inspiration visually, with being inspired of being in LA and actually driving from Los Angeles to Joshua Tree. And then when I zoomed in and I realized that on the rock right below the moon were two people just sitting looking at the moon on top of the rock. Goodness. And I used that in the artwork. If you really zoom in, you can see it. So yeah, and it was just that the desert reminds me of that magical feeling. It's almost like Aladdin or something, where you head out, sand dunes or rock. And I just wanted to be in that place, and especially that rich, deep orange, yellow. It definitely takes you to the desert right away. But yeah, it's got a magical little feeling to it.
The track itself, I would say, and when you listen to it, it's got a 6/8 time signature.
Yes, I don't think you can ever fail.
And you can't, and you know what? I thought, if anything, when I first listened to it, I was able to it did feel like it was slowing down time. The time signature does that.
Yeah.
So it not only takes you to this dreamy kind of place or landscape in your own mind, or maybe you're physically in this dreamy landscape, but it's this 6/8 kind of nostalgia.
Yeah.
So here's Wild Forever.
Keep it going, keep me wild forever. Just keep me wild.